Mm-hmm.
Maybe I asked that question and what an answer pretty bad. when I look back now and I realise that mostly each moment is I'm in pain or I'm not in pain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in pain or I'm not in as much pain.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm not in much pain.
Uh-huh.
And that's it. And everything else is just like garnish.
Between the moments of self-awareness.
But I feel, to be honest, it's just like a scratched record. You know what I mean? Life is like a scratched record, or one that's got a bit of dirt in the grooves, or whatever, and you still like it, so you keep carrying on with it.
Well, the good thing about dirt is you can clean it. Yeah, if you scratch something, then you've really seriously affected the structure of it. But if it's just a bit dirty, because before it gets scratched, things are going to get dirty, aren't they? And it's the not maintaining things properly, not cleaning off your records, not taking care of your things, that leads to more and more damage. To eventually, it could scratch, or just being careless around the equipment, it could scratch. Right and wrong behaviour helps us preserve the things of the present, which preserves the things of the future, because they make the things of the future. Everything we do is upon the shoulders of giants. You know, all these concepts we're talking about are just getting today.
No, but
were discovered before.
Everything that a person does, you know, when you keep saying this thing about standing on the shoulders of giants,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what a person is doing by continuing with whatever plan they've got, if they've got a plan for themselves and their life, or if they're just living, you know what I mean. But even to do that on a daily basis, you're having to build on what you did the day before, and how you're feeling 30 seconds ago could be just as important as how you're going to feel in, I don't know, it's all about time, innit?
Well, don't you think every moment of feeling is important and almost of equal importance to all the other moments? Because it is only in the moment we exist. We don't exist in the past or the future. We exist in the eternal now.
So what's the best way to spend moments? You know what I mean? Most
be in the moment and enjoy the eternal now.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, just to wrap it up, jellyfish men, cats with opposable thumbs.
Cats with thumbs.
Yeah. Just think about that, because if we weren't standing on the shoulders of giants, then our ideas would not evolve so quickly. It's really by using the energy before us of people's ideas manifest to the peak of their idea, and then our idea comes and stands on top of that and uses the basis of that idea to make something greater and greater. That's what evolves. But
standing on the shoulders of cats with thumbs.
Yeah, standing on the shoulders of giants, men's ideas given to us by the divine that work, provide solutions and answers. And every time we have another idea, it's based upon all the ideas that came before us. The tools that we invented that enabled the ideas to come quicker and quicker. We can have a great, marvellous world. And it's time we start thinking in terms of that with it. The solution think. Problem think is just that. It is the problem. It will lead to de-evolving and depression and everything beginning with D. We don't. The only thing that ever evolves is our ideas, and so we need to keep up.
Yeah, because that's what evolution is, isn't it? It's like a continuum, isn't it? It's how things.
Well, they've lied. They said the physical evolves. The physical doesn't evolve. The mental evolves. And the spiritual doesn't evolve. The spiritual just is. It's just that we grasp it for the first time ever. We get to see it.
Growth, isn't it?
Before we saw things through the electron microscope, we imagined it to be a certain way. And then we developed the technology to be able to see at that level. And truly see things at that level. And it is the same our ideas, our technology, which is based on our ideas, evolves, and that enables us to see more. But that's not the fullness. That is not the purpose for being. You know, the spiritual and the physical always existed like that. It's just that for the first time ever, our minds could grasp the concept. And it's because we were standing on the shoulders of giants to be able to get to that level in the first place. So give thanks for all the right information that historically has been there through other men and women, given to us by the divine and through our experience. That's the wisdom. That's the family tree. That's the heritage and the treasures that we should not be squandering. We should be gathering all them treasures right now and using them to create the transformation. Because we know what we want. It's just do, isn't it? Do or don't do. There is no try, as Yoda said. So that's why God created things. The proof of evolution just doesn't exist. It's a lie designed to keep people away from looking in that book, basically. Every little thing, don't look in the book. Please don't read it, don't read it. Hey, look, evolution. Men, monkeys changing into men. That'll keep them busy for the next 1,000 years. So many people have this opinion, and yet I'll say to them, can I ask you something? They say, yeah. Have you read it? And say, no. So, wow, you know so much about the Bible and what it isn't, but have never read it. And that's not saying anything bad about those that have never read it. I'm just curious as to, do they make all their decisions like that? There's a reason so much emotion. And people, it's because of the Bible, it's because of the Quran, it's because of religion, why that's happened. I think that's just a cop-out. I think it's because of ignorance.
But that's one point of view. That's the point of view of someone who's read the Bible. Right, okay, so having read the Bible, obviously, you've got that. Yeah. And you can't unread it. But at the same time, you now don't have the experience of dealing with situations having not read the Bible or been like.
Well, I do.
So in my position where I've come across the Bible at various points in my life, and I've taken from it what I've taken from it at the time, and there's certain things that have helped, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really,
the higher purpose can only be really revealed through the higher self. I can tell you all of this, but unless you have your own experience of it, it really doesn't mean anything. You're not going to be activated by it. Everything begins from inside and comes outwards. Even your experiences of the world comes into you, but unless you've got an emotion about it.
So is it possible that all of this, alright, it might be advisable to know these things. In order to, but it's all a way of conditioning a human being to behave and think in certain ways.
Yeah.
And which can be beneficial. Do you know what I mean? Because I think I tried to certainly.
There's been a reshaping of the world many times, and the mind that thought of the idea of how they want the world to be got to be in charge for a time. But ultimately God, the creator of all rules and just the way things are, is always in charge. He controls the weather, really. He controls the forces that define everything. All we do is really, we can harness some of it for a little time, but no one can really control it. It controls us. The machines, the matrix, controls us. It controls us to such an extent that even when you think you've left it, and you're out the matrix like in the film. The ideas you've been spoon-fed for an entire generation and lifetime still regurgitate in your so-called society. Meaning to say that when we created the machines in the first place to help regulate our society, make things easier for us, we automatically included certain traits. But it's interesting watching the animatrix and the roots of the matrix, because that shows us why the matrix was created. And it says in that it was created in the perfect divine image of man. The spirit of the machines was perfection, like the angels, okay? And when the angels, as it were, saw man breaking his own rules.
It's all fiction, same as the Bible is fiction.
It's fiction, but the myth is telling us something. When man breaks his own rules, when man's a hypocrite, when man knows the real answer is not to put toxic waste in the water, otherwise it'll kill you, and he tells himself a lie and puts the toxic waste in the water and thinks it won't kill him.
I just don't. I don't.
You know?
I don't quite see the point in talking like this at all. It doesn't make no sense to me. Because
the evolution of ideas, right, can either lead us to positive things or negative things, and so far, we've seen a lot of positives. Says who? Well, I'm saying it.
Right.
People either agree or disagree, and there's nothing wrong in that. Nothing wrong in agreeing or disagreeing. This is the maturity of mankind. Will always have to sit in a room, and you'll have people that agree and people that disagree. And you have people that manifest an idea and have people that can only talk about it. But before we could see a proper manifestation in this country, the Renaissance has to happen. People's minds have to be reawakened to the potential. They've got the great ideas. I've not got the great ideas. It's all of us together. There's ways and means we can make everything happen, and we've got to be realistic about it, not fantasy and delusional. In the film, you can take a gun out and you can, shoot through a car and make the car explode. In reality, nothing's exploding, But because people have been spoon-fed that idea all the time, they think those things will actually happen. What we have is counter-culture, counter-knowledge. Everything that is good has a bad part out there. You have people that promote peace, you have people that promote war. You have people that promote love, you have people that promote hate. And if you haven't got that compass to align yourself with where you're supposed to be, north or south, then really anyone can pull you in their direction and align you to what they're doing. Hence, why would anyone imitate anything put on TV? Why would they not want to be themselves, individual and totally different? You see them all follow fashion because they don't know any greater, you see. They look at these people and say they're the greatest. Books like the Bible and that are really, they're kind of like, I suppose, some advanced level maths books in the fact that they teach you the truth of things, how it all fits together. But because humanities is such a wide and varied subject, it's complicated to talk about it. Like you say, I go all over the place. But really it's because we're in one universe, one homogeneous thing, and everything is just one.
Oh, it's just a society. I'm not very coherent about it, to me, a lot of the time. You know what I mean? I don't mean it sound all critical, but
No, that's fine.
it's like if you're talking about something to someone, then at least have the awareness that they have understanding and keeping up with you and what you're saying, or you know what I mean. Otherwise, all you're doing is listening to the sound of your own voice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.